Klay, you can slide down here too, my boy.
你好.
Only a few days ago, we discovered that Klay Thompson stopped following the Warriors account on Instagram, started following players on teams that he seemed interested in, and demanded a 3-year contract from the Warriors, a contract he wasn't worth before the season started. Today, that situation has somehow gotten worse. Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Swish Culture. Klay Thompson and the Warriors have yet to reach an agreement on a contract, and with every passing day, it continues to seem less and less likely. The impetus for Klay to get the contract he wants then is to test the free agency waters, which if he gets a 3-year deal would likely see the end of Klay Thompson as a Warrior. Well, buckle up, because things are about to get real interesting. News just broke that there were some negotiations just recently between Klay and Golden State that again fell apart, and with Klay about to hit free agency, the saga continues and will likely be even worse for Klay when it's all said and done. Stay tuned and watch the entire video for all the details, but before that, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Swish Culture for the most analytical and entertaining NBA content on the planet. Now get ready, you're about to get So after Klay unfollowed the Warriors earlier in the week, apparently he went on to delete some photos as well. Now, I wasn't able to verify some of those claims, so some of the rumors about him deleting photos might not be true. It isn't much of a stretch, however, considering between Klay and his agent, the goal is for him to get the contract he wants. So we discussed in the last video that Klay was looking for a 3-year deal. That's a tough ask considering the team didn't think he was worth a 3-year contract prior to the beginning of the 2024 NBA season. He was offered the 2-year $48 million because post-injury Klay has been a shell of pre-injury Klay. Truthfully, Klay has been less impactful than a player the Warriors recently got rid of, and that player is Jordan Poole. Prior to Klay's return, Jordan Poole in the starting lineup alongside Steph Curry had the Warriors going 28-7 to start the regular season. Once Klay returned, he was put right into the Warriors starting lineup and the team went 17-15. Poole was a big contributor to the Warriors winning the NBA Finals, coming up clutch against the Boston Celtics and putting on the most exciting NBA Finals show in the last 5 years, with Klay shooting historically low from distance, averaging 20 points on 18 shots per game and shooting just 38.5% from 3. The following year saw Klay put up 22 points per game on 18 attempts while shooting 41% from distance. The Warriors were first-round exits and Klay was nowhere to be found in the playoffs, averaging 18.5 points on 17 shots in 36 minutes while shooting 38.8% from the field. The Warriors were the highest paid team at the time, and that triggered the extension year offer for Klay of 2 years $48 million. He started the 2024 season even worse, averaging just 15.5 points in his first 20 games. That $24 million a year offer began looking like an overpay for Klay Thompson, who was playing worse than ever and was the healthiest he's been since 2018, eventually playing 77 games this season. With a 10th seed and failure to make the playoffs, and Klay again not showing up in the elimination game against the Kings, him averaging 18 points on 15 shots this season, it's unthinkable what kind of offer Klay would hope to get, considering he didn't play nearly as well in a contract year despite being given ample opportunity. So here's where it gets worse. After everything I just stated, it was inconceivable that the Warriors could offer Klay the same contract they thought he was worth at the end of the year, considering he is clearly no longer the team's second option. They already paid him for the championships he helped the team win, and suffice it to say, the last championship was Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Jordan Poole. Despite Klay rejecting prior offers, the Warriors again made Klay another contract offer. This was another 2-year deal, and although the specifics aren't known, it is rumored, as per Brian Windhorst, to likely be something in the 20s of millions per year. Prior to this, I estimated the Warriors would offer Klay about 2 years and $40 million, which would be more than fair. So this 2-year deal was recently offered to Klay, possibly this past week, which is around when he made himself available for free agency. The real stickler for Klay is apparently the number of years on the contract, and considering he's taking a pay cut, he's looking at Wiggins making $25 million in 4 years, Draymond making $25 million in 4 years, and thinking he's got to get at least 3 years to be on the same contract length as those guys. Should Klay be making the same amount of money as Draymond? I suppose the argument could be made for Draymond's, at times, lack of availability, and in the case of Wiggins, his issues related to his mental health and off-court situation. You could even stretch that to Wiggins' play at the beginning of the season, but as one of the best defenders on the team and still just 29 years old, Wiggins has plenty of room. Still, this was a sticking point for Klay as players seem to covet the respect of the longer-term contracts and security. What this means is that the Warriors do not think Klay is worth a 3-year contract, something Klay clearly disagrees with for reasons beyond just the money, but for the respect. So then, things took yet another turn for the worst. After Klay made himself available in free agency talks, the entire league knowing he wants a 3-year deal, the Orlando Magic have come out and said they were not willing to sign Klay to a 3-year deal. They were only looking for short-term contracts to fill out high-level role players, and signing Thompson to a 3-year deal was absolutely not in the cards. So not only have the Warriors told Klay they can't give him that deal, the rest of the league seemed to feel the same way about Klay. So what does this mean? Klay is going to go into free agency, and it might take some time for him to get signed. Not only that, it is going to be rather embarrassing for Klay if he can't come to an agreement with a team. If word gets around that teams don't think he's worth a 3-year deal, no one is going to be the sucker that gives the aging superstar a 3-year deal in an era where young players are dominating and last decade superstars are deteriorating. If he's hurting the team at 34 years old and throwing tantrums about being in the starting lineup, leading to the team suffering overall because Klay wants to put up more shots, imagine what will happen when you're paying this player $25 million a year 3 years down the road in full decline. That's a lot of taxes for a player that is actually making your team worse, especially when you need him to show up. Finally, I see only 2 ways out of this. The Warriors might offer Klay something like 3 years and $60 million. That's an additional roster spot and $12 million to keep the group together. My instincts tell me Klay is looking for something more along the lines of 3 years, $75 million, which is not very likely to happen, and that gap in the discussion is going to cause things to sour. While it's possible Klay takes the pay cut, considering he doesn't have any other options on the table, he might take the pay cut from a different team just out of spite, which would be extremely petty and a stain on his legacy if he did that. So I'm hoping he doesn't do something like that and hopes the Warriors regret not giving him the deal he wanted. Should the Warriors offer Klay a 3-year, $75 million deal or stick to their guns on the 2-year deal? Should Klay accept a 2-year deal and take one for the team to hopefully add pieces to contend? Or lastly, should both parties compromise on maybe a 3-year, $60 million option? If not, maybe they just retract their offer, let Klay go where he's going and focus on building their contender, considering that as of June 30th, Klay is no longer a part of the team and a free agent like any other. Post your thoughts in the comments below, but before that, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish.